Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Whoop, whoop. Warm-up number 68 is on the screen. As soon as you log in, get started, please. And it reads, given 5, 25, 15, 20, and $2 per day on Facebook. Compute the standard score of the median and sketch the position. I'll give you guys some time. Copy and yes, Max says to put them in order. So read them to me, please. Ooh, without hesitation, let's go. And then they are asking for the standard score of the median. So tell your neighbor what the median was since you're already past that point. What's the median? Everyone, median is 15, or in other words, Q2. All right, so they want us to sketch the position, which means we need a bell curve. And what does that imply? It implies that we need a mean, X bar. We also need a standard deviation so that we can be at 1 above and 1 below the mean, so that we are covering the what? The norm. Okay. So far so good, yes? All right. So, turn to your neighbor and know what you got for the mean, please. What you get for the mean? All right, what'd you get for the mean on this one? Let's go with Vanya. What'd you get for the mean? 13.4. Hands, have you got that? That's about right. All right. So that brings us to standard deviation. Check with your neighbor what they got for standard deviation on that one. All right, Vanya, pass someone. Standard deviation. Brandon Darty, what'd you get? 8.73. Hands if you got 8.73. Okay, I have people, disturbance in the force. What'd you get, Vianney? Same thing, okay. All right. Did you go the long way or a shortcut or... Shortcut? Okay. Anyone get anything different? Okay, I'm going to go with that. So, 8.73 above should be at 22.13. Is that correct? And then 13.4 minus 18.73, we are at 4.67. Is my computation correct? Let's go! My goodness. I'm going to get a shirt that says no calculators needed. Q merch right there, huh? Woo! And put a little calculator with a little X on it. Let's go. Are we done, though? No, they want the standard score. Tell your neighbor what that means, standard score. Yeah, the z-score, that is correct. Check with your neighbors what they got for the z-score. Now that we have the mean, we have the standard deviation, and then we have the x over here, which is 15. All right? So, let's see. Brandon, pass them on. Z-score. Max, what'd you get? Z-score of 15 is 0.18. Hands if you got something like that. Looks about right. 0.18 is about 1/5 away from the mean going upward, so it's about right there. All right. Hold on. So far, so good. Then copy the agenda. Warm-up number 68, complete. Measures of position. Today we're focusing on quartiles, which, like I said, I've been giving you stuff already throughout the year. Today we're just putting the puzzle together. And last but not least, our home plate for tonight, only one problem. Only. Thank you, Mr. Q. You're welcome. I got you. So you're like, one problem, what? What's that? No. It's about 10 parts. It's about, yeah, just about. All right. Let me send that to your screen. And access to today's home play, or this presentation, is 9VDNY. 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 And we're like, everybody waking up. Come on, people, let's go. It's Monday. Get the show on the road. My goodness. All right. Ready, Cole? All right, let's go. So, over the weekend, I said for you guys to have a great weekend, yes? You guys have a great weekend, yeah? Something like, I don't know. I got some rest. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Tonight's home play, one problem. All right, get a Cornell note ready, please. I can summarize data and compute the measures of position. I can summarize data and compute the measures of position. I can summarize data and compute the measures of position. And as I mentioned before, today we're covering quartiles, tomorrow deciles, and then we should be done with all three different measures. Let's go. Aaron, you got that right? All right. So Aaron says he's got it. So while he's got these, remind your neighbors the three different measures and each of the components for each, please. Measures. Yes. The what? The objective? Oh, yeah. Let's see. Get us started with the first measure, male, central, tendency, and they are mean, I'm going to use mu, median, I'm going to use Q2, and mode, that is correct. All right, how about the next set? Let's go with Lulu. What are the next set of measures? Variation, range, variance, and standard deviation. Let's go. And our last but not least, how about Aaron? Position, quartiles, deciles, Z-score, or standard score, and we're missing one more, percentiles, yes. And we covered three different formulas for percentiles, right? Two of them, simple ones, and one for the one when they give us a table. All right, not bad, not bad. You guys remind me of me in kindergarten. Let's go. So, measures of position, we got standard scores, Z-scores, percentiles, quartiles, and deciles. So, here's where we are with our formulas. Look up. We should be at 24 formulas up to right now, yeah? Let's go. Because today we're adding three more. Let's go. Add the first one, IQR. By now, we've been using IQR, but I haven't really formally introduced it till today. So therefore, just add that to your formulas. And the last two are to check for outliers. Here's one. SO means small outlier, and LO means large outlier. So there's two more formulas. Copy those, please. Once again, these formulas, like I said, we've already been using most of them except for the last two, but they have components that we've already covered. So do we know what IQR stands for? Yes, interquartile range. How do we find that? Q3 minus Q1. Have we been doing that before? Yes. How about checking for outliers? Small outlier, do we know what Q1 is? Yes. And do we know what IQR is? Yes. So all the components we already know. Okay? So now let's apply that to a problem. So copy this one, please, on your screen. On your notes, sorry. Example Q, and it reads, a teacher gives a 20-point test to 10 students. The scores are 18, 15, 12, 6, 8, 2, 3, 5, 20, and 10. In what quartile is the score of 12 found? Compute the interquartile range and sketch a box plot and check for outliers. Copy that in your notes, and I'll send the formulas to your screen. All right, shall we? Once again, it says, a teacher gives a 20-point test to 10 students. The scores are 18, 15, 12, 6, 8, 2, 3, 5, 20, and 10. In what quartile is a score of 12 found? Here goes the process to find that out. The first question. Step 1. You already know. Tell your neighbor what to do with that data, please. Ascending order. That is correct. 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 18, 20. Let me double check. 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 18, and 20. All right. Next, step 2. And I'm going to change that to blue. I want you to write ID Qs. Tell your neighbor what that means. ID Qs. They should know what to do by now. Enlighten us, Austin. Identify the quartiles. Let's go. So, where do we start, by the way, when we are looking for quartiles? In the middle, the median, or Q2. So, we have 10 students. That means 10 numbers. We got 5 here, 5 here. Is there anything in the middle? No. Tell your neighbor how to find Q2. How do you find Q2? Santi, what do I do? 8 and the 10 is 18, and then divide by 2, that is 9. That's our Q2. So label this one right here. Q2, that's 9. It's an ugly 9. My goodness, Q. 9. All right. So we need Q1 and Q3. Tell your neighbor what they are, please. And then Santi's going to pass them one. Santi, go. Amelia, Q1 and Q3. Q1 is 5. Hold on. Q1, 5. And Q3 is 15. Bam. All right. How are we doing so far? Good? All right. So, next, step 3. Or I'm just going to do this part right here, but I'm going to change the color in step 2 and write label, because we want to label each quartile. So, before I do that, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Let me pause the music back there. They're asking us to identify the quartiles. We got the number itself, but the whole data is divided into quartiles. Now, before I label it, what does the word quartile remind you of? Think about it, something common. Tell your neighbor, what does it remind you of? All right, Lulu says what? Quart, and Mel says quarter. So, question, how many quarters in $1? And each is worth what? That is correct. So therefore, look up. So to label our quartiles is by quarter. So from here down is 25%. Label that, please. From here down, it's another 25%. From here down is 25%. And the remainder right here is 25%. So let's answer the question. In what quartile is 12 found? So we write 12 is found in the, everyone, third quartile or 75th percentile. 10Q. From 1 to 5, I'll come to where up to right there. 5, 4 is 5, okay. Once again, what was the process? Ascending order. Step 2, identify the Q's first and then label the quartiles by percent. 4 quartiles, 4 quarters, 25, 25, 25, 25, and then just identify the number where it falls. All right. Next, it says, step 3, compute the IQR. Tell you never how to do that without looking at your notes. By now you should know how to do that. IQR. What is that? David, how do we compute IQR? Q3 minus Q1, and that gives me 10. Cake, so far? Have we been using this before? Yes, Mr. Q. All right. So we're done with this. We're done with this. Let's move on to the last portion. Sketch a box plot and check for outliers. All right, box plot. Step 4. Do we know how to do that? Yes. All right. So just to do this properly, I'm going to start with a number line. 0. And then it goes all the way up to 20. So I'm going to go, let's see, this is 10, 20. All right. So, box plot. I need Q1, which is what? 5. Q2, which is 9. Q3, which is 15. It's about right here. Minimum is 2, about right here. Maximum is 20. All right. Have we been doing all of that before? Yes? All right. So we move on to the last portion, which is the checking for outliers. This is going to be the new part, but it's fairly simple to understand. So before I move on to show you with numbers, let me elaborate what outliers is. Writing utensils down, eyes up here. Now, outliers, guys, is something that does not belong to a set of whatever. If it's a set of data, it doesn't belong in there. If it's a character of some sort, it doesn't belong there. For example, most of you have gotten to know me pretty well, is that correct? So let's say you were in the cafeteria or in the NPR, and all of a sudden somebody came up. Hey guys, did you hear? What? I heard. I wasn't there, but I heard that Q slapped Vianney in class. Okay, question. Does that go with my character? That's an outlier because it's straight outliers. Get it? Anyways, it's something that's completely out of the ordinary. Does that make sense? However, with data, same thing. There's certain numbers that belong in the set, and there's certain numbers that do not belong. Those are called outliers, that they're completely way off. So if I was to look at that data, look at it, and let's say the last number Look up. Instead of being 20 was 200. Obviously, you would say, which one is the outlier? 200, because it doesn't belong in the set. So, but how do we check, Mr. Q? Well, we have formulas. Check first the smallest one. The smallest one is a 2. Let's see if that's an outlier on the low end. So let's see. So we start with our formula. I want you to write outliers. We're going to start with a small one. Small outlier, the formula is Q1 minus, parentheses, 1.5 times the IQR. So small outlier, we're going to check. Q1 was what? 5 minus 1.5 times the IQR. What was the IQR? 10. So therefore, we got small outlier is 5 minus 1.5 times 10, that's 15. So what is 5 minus 15, everyone? Negative 10. Question. Do we have any negative numbers? Look at the data. Do we have any negative numbers? No, so we're going to write no small outlier. So that means that all these numbers on the small end belong to the data. So we're done checking the small. Let's go to the what? Large outlier. And that is what? Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. Large outlier is Q3 was, sorry, let me substitute here. Q3 was what? 15, right? It's right here. Plus 1.5 times the IQR again is 10. Large outlier is 15 plus 15. Large outlier is 30. Question. Are there any of these data greater than 30? No, so that means there are no large outliers. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you by checking outliers? Yeah, we got this. 5 4s, 5 4s. All right. So send me your notes. Let me send this to you. All right. So step 1, ascending order. Step 2, identify cues and label all quartiles. There it is. And then we answered the first question. There it was. 12 is found in the third quartile or 75 percentile. So far so good, yes? Next, compute the interquartile range or the IQR. Do we know how to do that? Yes. And from there, the last part, sketch a box plot. We know how to do that. Check for outliers. And there they are. From 1 to 5, I'll come to the entire process. 5 4s, 5 4s. All right. So with that said, do this one by yourself. Example, super cute. We got given data 25, 15, 10, 15, 1, and 30. In what quartile is the score of 15 found? Next, compute the interquartile range. And lastly, sketch a box plot and check for outliers. I'll give you guys some time. Copy and go. All right, let's see if you can see it up here. A lot better? All right, so let me read it to you. It says here they have an order 1, 10, 15, 15, 25, and 30. Yes. Q2 was 15. Q1 is 10. And Q3 is 25. Yeah? From there, it says here, once they label their percentiles, 15 is found in quartiles 2 and 3, or between 50 and 75%. Hands if you got something like that. That is correct. From there, they got their box plot. Here it is. And then they're checking for their small outlier. Once you substitute values, they got negative 12.5. So they wrote no small outlier. And then large outlier, they wrote 37.5 and no large outlier. All right, hands if you got something like that. All right, good. So double check your work. Send me your work as soon as you're done, please. Let me send you that screen. So, which brings us to the last portion. So we're done with quartiles, inner quartiles, and checking for outliers. Now we're going to put it all together. Y'all ready? Here it goes. Given the data below, compute all measures. So, what is the first set of measures, everyone? Central tendency, and they are mean, median, and mode. Do we know how to do that? Yeah. Next, what's another set of measures? Variation, and they are range. Do we know how to do that? Next, variance and standard deviation. Do we know how to do that? Yes, okay. And last but not least, position, and they are so far z-score, percentile, and quartiles. So here goes your home plate for tonight. I'm going to give you a set of data. Do you know how to find the central tendency? Yes. Do you know how to find the variations? Yes. Do you know how to write positions? Now, question. Some of you are thinking, z-score, which one do we use, Mr. Q? Pick a number. Do we know how to find percentile? Yes, Mr. Q, there's 3 formulas, but can we use the third one? No, because this is not a table. We only use the one that starts with P and the one that starts with what? With C. Remember? Below, da-da-da. And last but not least, do you know how to identify quartiles? Yes. Box plot? Yes. And check for outliers? Yes. All right. So those are the things you're going to do for home plate. However, here's your data. Give you a head start. You got about 10 minutes. That gives you plenty of time to do stuff with that. I'll stop the video lesson here for those of you following on YouTube. And for those that are here, I'm going to forward that screen to that problem. Let's see. There's a home plate in front of you. There it is. All right. So, put in some practice. See you guys next time. Peace.